Hi everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and a big warm hello to my subscribers. I love you guys. Today I am going to be crafting some awesome things from Dollar General and Dollar Tree vinyl placemats. And as always, I hope you enjoy the show. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. I found this vinyl mat at the Dollar Tree, and I'm using one of the little Dollar Tree rounds that I found at Valentine's Day. You can find those on and off all year round though with the seasons. And I'm just going to lay it down and trace this out so that it fits hopefully pretty even right in the center with this imagery. Then I'm cutting it out, and you'll notice it's not perfectly covering. There's a little flat area at the top. Don't worry about that, we're going to fix that later. But I'm using this craft bond glue that I actually bought by accident at Walmart. It's the extra strength one, and it's really good if you want to glue down things that are hard to glue down that maybe a normal glue stick wouldn't handle. That glue stick handles it like a champ. So for the top part, I just cut out a little extra cream colored vinyl off the scrap pieces that I had left. And for this part, I did use Mod Podge. I did that because at the time I felt like I needed it. The glue stick sometimes you don't have as much wiggle room. It will start to dry really quick because it's dry. It is a drier glue, so it's a little sticky, and I wanted some time to wiggle that around and make sure that I got it really close to the seams, so that it didn't have a big line in between as much as possible. This plate is also a Dollar Tree find. It's one of their charger plates. I love these for DIYs and home decor because of the little, they're not engravings. I guess it's that little design on the edge there. They look like little tiny mini beads. They're like little nubs or something. I love them, and I love to bring them out on purpose. So I'm painting just the edge because that's all you're going to see with the color plaster in Waverly chalk paint, and now I'm using pewter gray from Apple Barrel paint. Now when I first start doing this, I'm really disappointed. Do you see to the left there? It's way too heavy. I start getting it right now. This is at this point it's a very dry brush technique. I just want to hit the top of that design just to bring that design out. So I do end up trying to take a baby wipe there. I'm rubbing it off, trying to see if that works. It doesn't work. It kind of leaves a shadow and it doesn't match the rest of them. So ultimately I do end up taking more of the Waverly chalk paint and plaster, and you can see me doing it right there. I'm just repainting over. It's a wonderful thing about painting, you guys. You can just repaint. I'm repainting over the edge there so I can get a nice clean slate to have another chance at this again. So I go ahead and finish dry brushing the whole edge, and it looks good enough. It's okay if some of them are a little darker. That's nice. It adds a little character, but you don't want it to be extreme where you're getting too much paint in between the little bubbles or whatever. Bobbles? I don't know what those are. If somebody knows what those are, comment down below. So here's the final result with the top part of the vinyl that I put on this round. It did have a little seam, and it turns out that the color plaster in the Waverly chalk paint is a perfect match for this vinyl placemat. So I just added a little paint inside the seam, and that took care of it. You don't see it anymore. And now I'm using some hot glue. Now this is Surebonder hot glue, which is not that expensive. You can get it at Walmart, on Amazon. It's really not that expensive, and it claims to go ahead and hold glass and plastic and wood. It's like a multi-purpose glue, and I'm really pleased with it so far. It does. It's been holding great. I haven't had it fall off, so I just wanted to pass that on. Then I just glue that round on top of the plate, and I am now using some ribbon I got at Temu. It's little buffalo check ribbon there, and I'm hot gluing on. Now I was really torn whether I should put a bow or not, but I just felt like that spot was empty, so I went with the bow. Let me know what you think, but this is in my kitchen, and I absolutely love this. I took it outside, went to my to-go-to little clear acrylic Mod Podge spray, and here it is. To Today I want to thank Native for sponsoring this video. 27 years ago, I made the decision to buy deodorant without aluminum. Now, I always choose unscented, but they sent me 3 of their sensitive line deodorants to try here. The first fragrance is aloe and green tea. The second fragrance is coconut and vanilla, and the third one was unscented, my favorite. Native deodorants are aluminum and paraben free. They're vegan and cruelty free, and they use simple but effective ingredients like coconut oil and magnesium oxide, which provides up to 72 hours of odor protection. Magnesium oxide is also derived from the Dead Sea. So the sensitive range that they sent me is made without baking soda, and it's also vegan. And Native also offers a plastic-free version of their deodorant using the same formula, but with more sustainable packaging. So Native has more to offer. They have body washes, they have lotions. But if you want to go ahead and try out this awesome deodorant, because I absolutely love it, it's my to-go-to deodorant now, use my link and code to get 20% off of your first purchase at Native. This offer is available site-wide, but only for a limited time. So go down below in my description box, you'll see the link there, and you click on it and it will take you right to it. For this next project, I'm using a vinyl placemat from Dollar General and a vinyl placemat from the Dollar Tree. I just thought that would be neat to combine them because I found 2 very similar ones at both stores, but they were complementary, and I thought I can do something with this in a combination act. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm starting off by just trimming them down a little bit here. You just draw a straight line, and I'm trying to catch the words, or as much of the words as I can. I couldn't do it with the other placemat totally. I did lose some of the word, but I still think it looks fantastic. Even if you cut into some of the words, it's got that patchwork thing going on, so anything goes. So now we're using the Dollar Tree signs. You can find these in the Crafter's Square section. They come in brown, black, and white. I'm using a brown one, and I took a handsaw and just cut these down really fast because they're kind of like cardboard. They're not cardboard, but they're, you know, the MDF border. I like it because it's easier to cut than wood, and it's just as firm. So I went ahead and used Mod Podge to glue, I'm covering the sides of this, and then when it was dry, I took my craft knife, also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using that just to trim. Now, to be honest, I have really super sharp scissors, I have to be honest, and I did do the rest of this with sharp scissors. I actually thought I felt like I had more control, and it came out just as straight. The reason I didn't use scissors initially is because I was worried it would come out crooked, but it did come out just as straight. So if you have sharp scissors, just use those. And now on the end, so I have like 2 sides that are equal, and I did this by eye. I'm so sorry I didn't measure it. I just kind of tried to make a proportional box, so I did it by eye. I would guess the end was probably about 5 inches, and then whatever was left over on the board. There's 2 boards total that I used here. That's what ended up being the sides. But here I took a combination of both placemats on the ends. I thought that would be neat. So I'm using a little bit from one placemat, and then the bottom half, the little strip right there, is the other placemat. So I just thought that was kind of neat, and it would tie it in. And I did tape them. Please tape it with masking tape or whatever tape you have. Well, masking tape didn't remove any of the print, but it really helped for measuring and keeping everything in place when I was gluing, to have those 2 little pieces at the bottom taped. So I set those aside to dry, and when they were dry, I went ahead and took the Surebonder hot glue. Again, this is supposed to be for all kinds of materials, wood, glass. It is a very strong glue. I've been very satisfied with it, because sometimes with hot glue you can have trouble with temperature changes or humidity. It'll suddenly pop off. This has been wonderful for not doing that. And I'm just gluing all of these sides together to form a box. I'm reinforcing the inside of the seam right here so it doesn't come apart. And then I'll just take my Dollar Tree little spatula that's made for makeup and mask. It's in the makeup section. It's made for mask, I think. Right there, the pink one. And I'm just going to go ahead and smooth it down the best I can so it's not lumpy in there. Now, I will say that these pink ones at the Dollar Tree that have a spatula on either end are much firmer and more similar to the original one that made such a big hit 3 years ago in the crafting scene. Now, here's the stakes from the Dollar General. I had made a video on those, and I had bought about 20 of them. They are great for crafting. If you find them at the Dollar General, they're only $1 and easy to cut. Lickety split, same saw. I just cut them down. I'm taking a nail file now just to file off any of the little rough edges. And now I'm using some of the antique wax, watered down. All I did was put a little wax in that tray there and then use spray water in a spray bottle. It's those little spray bottles again in the Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree. And I just squirted it to make it more watery, and it makes a beautiful stain. But you can use paint watered down. You can use a regular stain, whatever you guys like. You can use it, it will work. This is just what I wanted to work with. I like how slippery it is. There's also a water-based acrylic stain that I love. It's down below in my description box from Amazon. That works wonderful too. No scent, no smell, lasts forever. I just want to use my wax up right now, but I will be buying that again. And then I went ahead and for me on this box, I decided to go with foam board for the bottom. So what I've done in the past is I have used Dollar Tree signs to put on the bottom, but they tend to be really, really heavy, and I don't want to see any edges. I want it to look like it's store-bought. So I want to keep the bottom light, and I want to keep it higher than the edge. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. And I'm taking some Dollar Tree material that I found in the craft section, and we're just going to glue it on to cover the foam board. And all I did was wrap this up like a present. You can see the edges right there. I just tucked it in just like you're wrapping a gift. So this is how I did it. This is how I overcome the problem of things not looking store-bought, I guess. I went ahead and took some of the towering blocks and I glued them all around the edge, and then we're going to sit the bottom on top of that. Now you can take a little bit of thin cardboard or a thin Dollar Tree sign and push it up against the other side of those blocks to cover that if you want. I don't care because no one's going to see it, but if that bothers you, you can cover it. Just tuck them up a little higher to make sure that when you glue the board on, it's above the line, because you don't want, these boards don't look good when the edges are showing, they just don't. So we're covering the edge with a vinyl. Now we're covering the edge with the actual little stakes, the wood stakes. They're going to be the legs. You can see I'm doing it here. I'm sorry it's out of camera view a little bit, but I'm just gluing it down right there. That covers the edge of the MDF board. The bottom you can cover it in another way, and if you again tuck it up higher than the bottom, don't glue it where you see the edges. And then to handle the edges on the top, I'm just taking some of the furniture pens from the Dollar Tree. I did accidentally use mahogany when I very first did it, so now I'm going over with the walnut one because I wanted it to be a darker brown. And that's it. Look how beautiful this came out. It's perfect for magazines, towels, flowers. I'm going to stage it with some flowers because I don't have enough magazines right now, but it's beautiful. This is my favorite vinyl mat, I think, that Dollar General carried. I was really happy to find it. For those of you that watched that shopping video, you could hear my excitement when I found that particular mat. And I decided to cut some more of the stakes. You can see right there, they're cut. And there's little rough edges. I'm going to take my scissors to cut that off, and then I'll just use a little bit of sandpaper to further smooth the edge down a little bit. But I'm using 2 of those Dollar Tree signs again in black. There's the wood stakes again. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut my twine off the end. My first thoughts are, ooh, this will be a really awesome long tray. It'll have some of the shiplap type looking wood sticking out on either end. It'll look awesome. The handles will cover the holes. But I do end up invariably cutting these boards down because I feel the tray's a little too long with the placemat. It just doesn't look quite right, and you'll see that later. But I'm taking some white acrylic paint. This is just white apple barrel paint, and I'm giving the wood a dry brush. Or it's not wood, it's the MDF board, but I'm giving it a dry brush. And then, of course, to get these handles to match, I'm going to go ahead and paint them black, right? We have to start off with black, just like the sign. Once they're dry, we'll go ahead and do the dry brushing again with the white paint to get it to all come together and match. If your tray is just decorative, you can absolutely skip this part. I am actually going to use this tray, so I wanted to add a little bit more of a brace where the two seams met together underneath. And here's what I was talking about earlier. I mentioned this. I made the decision when I put the placemat down that I really didn't want this tray to be that long after all. So I tore the handle off before it was finished drying and I scooched it up. So we're just going to cut that end off right there. We're going to make this a shorter tray. And I also thought it made the tray less flimsy too, because there is that center seam. It just creates more stability if you shorten it a little bit. And that's what I did. So now we're using a little bit of gray paint. I just took the black and white paint and kind of mixed it together, and it made a beautiful complementary edge for this tray. And now I'm using wood glue, and I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue just to tack it down so it stays in place. And we're going to glue this last handle down. I don't know about you guys, but I have finally come up with a temporary solution for ruining my clothes crafting. I went and got all those cheap, you know, those men's t-shirts that are 100% cotton, totally comfortable, totally cool, cheap. I think a package of 6 for like $19.99. I just got a bunch of those, and that's what I'm crafting in now. I'm comfortable, I'm cool, and I don't worry if the paint splatters all over my clothes. In fact, I sometimes put it over my shirt that I'm wearing during the day. I just put the big, it's like my craft shirt. I just put it on and I don't have to worry. So, well, when I'm going to be dry brushing or using, you know, dark paints like black, I just put on that cotton shirt and it's like an apron that's nice and cool. Anyway, let me know what tricks you guys have come up with. I do have aprons, but they don't always work out real well. Sometimes my sleeves get messy. So I just thought, what are you doing? Just buy some cheap t-shirts. You're a crafty person. Anyway, we're using Mod Podge to Mod Podge this down, and we're going to go ahead and seal it in with Mod Podge as well, because like I said, I am planning on using this. It's going to hopefully get quite a bit of use. I was going to put it on top of my ottoman, maybe put my coffee here during the day when I'm, you know, enjoying a warm cup of coffee, watching a movie. It's perfect, but I love this. This next one was a lot of fun. I have been seeing the wine glass little vinyl placemats, it seems like forever since I've been shopping at the Dollar Tree. And I thought, you know, what can I do with this? These are kind of, it's difficult to craft with those. I had a couple ideas. I was going to make a wine box at some point to like store your wine bottles in on your counter, but what I ended up deciding I thought would be cute, especially since fall's coming up, is to do a pumpkin. These are total fall colors. They're warm, they're burgundies and browns and orange and gold, and I want to make a pumpkin for my kitchen. And I thought, well, how neat. This is kind of tying in like a kitchen theme because it's got the wine glasses and, you know, it looks like a kitchen type placemat, and it's going to be for fall. So I went ahead and did a pumpkin. I freehanded it. I had a really hard time getting the other side even. So as you saw, I cut out half the pumpkin. Then I took a piece of computer paper, put it down, traced it, that half, on the paper, and then I got a nice even, you know, I just put it on the other side and traced the piece of paper, and then I got a more symmetrical pumpkin. Look how cute that is, though. I was so pleased with this one. I really wasn't sure how it was going to come out, and I thought, well, you perfect little kitchen pumpkin, you, when I was all done. That's perfect. Especially if you have like those little stands, like my first DIY where I put the plate in it. It's like a plate holder. It would be so cute on a kitchen counter during the fall season. So I'm using cardboard. You guys love when I do my cardboard crafts, so I thought I would throw it in here. I am using 2 of them because this cardboard, it was really clean and nice. It was on the inside of a package, but it was a little thinner, so I went ahead and used 2 of them, and I'm just going to glue those 2 pieces of cardboard together to create it, you know, make it more sturdy. And there I go. So we glue those 2 together, and then we're going to glue the vinyl placemat on top. So I've talked about this in previous videos. When you work with cardboard, at least for me, it will just look cheap and nasty if you don't cover the sides. You have to cover the sides. It's mandatory, you guys. If you want the craft to look really nice in your home. If you don't care, it's okay too, but this is just my thing. I have to cover it. So this decorative twine that you can find at the Dollar Tree was perfect for this. I went ahead and I covered the entire pumpkin with this decorative twine ribbon. Here's some pretty fall ribbon that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's perfect for autumn. And all of that ribbon is from the Dollar Tree. And if you watched my first Dollar Tree with me, shot with me video for this summer, that little netting right there that I'm holding right there, I thought that would be perfect for an autumn craft, and here we go, we're using it. Now I'm making something called a messy bow here. If you want to see the full tutorial, I do have a bow video. It's linked down below in my description box. It's time stamped, so you don't have to watch the whole video if you don't want to. You can just look for the bow that you're looking for, click it. You know, it's in the top pinned comment there. You can just click the time and it will take you straight to that part of the video. And you can look for messy bow. So what is an autumn craft without raffia? Everyone knows I love my raffia at autumn. I always add it in there because for me that is just kind of the thing. I love raffia, and it's especially appropriate during fall and autumn crafts. So I'm just taking a little bit of the raffia. I got this raffia on Amazon. It's really nice. If you can find them, you can also use the hula skirts from the Dollar Tree, but I'm just making a little raffia bow there. I'm going to trim it up kind of haphazardly there so it looks nice and rustic, which I love, especially during fall. And that's it. We are going to put a hanger on the back of this. I kind of regretted that I did that because I think I am going to want to put it in one of those plate holders instead and put it on my kitchen counter, so I might take the hanger off. But if you want to hang it up, what I did is I took some of the Dollar Tree nautical rope, I went ahead and hot glued it on the back, and then I used some duct tape to cover that while the glue was still hot so it would all kind of meld together. I usually use masking tape for this, but they don't have the wide masking tape right now at Dollar Tree, and I do like the tape to be wide, so duct tape works just fine too. It's just to reinforce it so it's not just relying on the hot glue, and I've never had trouble with this falling off. You can even put it outside. It works really, really well. And I'm just trimming the edges there to round it out so that the tape, you don't see it on the edge, and we're all done. Now, maybe it's just me, but that saying right there, friends and family gather here, to me is definitely an autumn type sign. It's an autumn type saying. So I thought, I just made a pumpkin. I'm going to stay in the theme here and make some pretty fall stuff. I actually can't wait for fall, you guys. I love crafting all year round, but of course holidays are my favorite time for a lot of people because that's when the crafting videos get the most views. I mean, a lot of people love to craft during the holidays, but I thought it would be fun. You can leave this up all year round if you want, but it does remind me of autumn. And I went ahead, I'm using one of those Dollar Tree signs again. I love them, love them, love them. Look at that. I used to have to do paint sticks to make like a shiplap look, or we'd have to score the board. Dollar Tree has just brought out so many things to make it so much easier for crafters. It's all ready to go. So I cut the board, and I actually cut on the other side a little bit of too. You can see it on the left hand side. I kind of made it a little bit rough too on the edge because I wanted it to match. I didn't catch that on film, sorry about that, or I did and I didn't put it in here. I caught it on film, but I didn't put it in this video. And all I'm doing now is just trimming this little mat down to fit this sign. I love ticking stripe. That's what we have on the edge there. And I thought, I don't know exactly where I'm going to do with that ticking stripe, but I'm going to cut it and keep it. We're going to get it on this sign. And I decided to put it on the ends just like that in the end there. And I think it complemented it so much and kept that whole country look, because ticking stripe is so country. It's so farmy. Farmy, is that a word? I don't know, but it's just so perfect again for fall, or if you do farmhouse decor, it's perfect. So I'm taking a little bit of the white paint again. We're going to dry brush this. That's the only thing about these signs, is they are very stock, I guess. I mean, they don't do anything with them. They're a blank slate for you, and I like to usually dry brush them a little bit because otherwise they don't look as much like real wood. So you either can paint them solid because the paint covers it. You don't know what's going on under there, that it's an MDF board, or you can dry brush it. That makes it look nicer too, but just get something on there to make them look a little bit more expensive, I guess. Now I'm taking a glue stick again. This extra strength glue stick worked like a charm. It held these vinyl mats. I wasn't sure whether or not it was going to because vinyl is really slippery, but it held them beautifully. So that is an option. I cannot vouch for a regular glue stick. I have a feeling it would work, but you'd have to be very generous. But the extra strength one from Walmart definitely works, and I think it runs about $5 for a large one. So I'm just putting that down, and I'm going to go ahead and put the ticking stripe on either side. So now I'm using a black furniture marker. You find them in a set of 3 at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going around the edge of that placemat a little bit, and I'm not keeping the line totally straight. I want it to look a little bit rustic and, you know, distressed, I guess, and antiqued. And the final step to make this come together so that it is cohesive is to put a little bit of dry brushing on the top of the vinyl mat. And I think this sign came out so nice. It is perfect for an entry table, a console table, or a shelf. This next one's fun, really easy, and so high-end looking. I found these little signs. I think they're signs at the Dollar Tree. They're not, I'm going to make coasters, but I don't think these are coasters. And what I thought would be fun is to make a reversible coaster. So have one for like summer, and then this one to me kind of looks more like a fall, maybe Christmas, because it looks like it might be snow, or it looks a little snowy to me, or like cotton, those, you know, that cotton look that cotton has. It just has that look to me with the colors, the white and the brown. That's perfect for fall and perfect for the Christmas season as well, or even maybe not Christmas, because I always like to go all out and do Christmas stuff, but maybe New Year's, the winter. So I thought, well, this would be neat if we could do a summer one. So I went with a little bit of a coastal look with this next choice of vinyl mats here, and I'm just going to use Mod Podge to glue it down. I mean, literally just trace these out. It's super straightforward. This is an easy DIY, and it would make a great gift too for like Mother's Day or a friend, or just if you go to a party instead of bringing a bottle of wine or something, or an hors d'oeuvre, this would be a fun thing to bring as a house gift. But I just went ahead and glued it down with Mod Podge, let it dry. When it was dry, I trimmed off any excess that was over the edge, and that was it. We had these great little reversible coasters that look totally high-end, and they are pennies on the dollar and easy to make. So some of you may remember me finding these at the Dollar Tree, the Hot Wheel tracks. I said I had some ideas for them. This actually wasn't one of the ideas, but I am always coming up with new stuff. So this is what I'm doing with them for this craft. So here's another placemat. Love it. Think it's so cute. I wanted to try and make a really high-end looking frame for it. So I'm taking foam board here, and I'm leaving about 2 inches around the edge, just extra. I knew it was wider than what I needed, but I wanted to make sure I didn't cut it short. And I'm going to glue the vinyl mat down on top of the foam board. So now we're making 45-degree cuts here. And I don't know if I got a dead pair of shears, but I can't get them to cut the tracks. It was not clamping down tight enough, and this is my first experience with those shears. So someone comment down below, let me know if that's only meant to cut thicker wood and they're not supposed to clamp all the way down, or if I got a dead pair, because they definitely were not cutting. But it's okay because my sharp scissors finished it off. So as you can see, we have a beautiful frame. Look at that. They are perfect for a frame. So I went ahead and took some of the Waverly chalk paint, again in plaster, and I painted these. They did require 2 coats, but here's the thing, guys, I would not recommend you hand paint these. There's all little nooks and crannies, and the paint kind of gathers in them. You can see it right there. I highly recommend you take these out and spray paint them. The spray paint would stick better. You won't get any of the paint pooling anywhere, and it would come up perfect. It still came up totally cute. You can't notice it because I just make sure I took my little craft knife and went and cut the little pooling paint out of there the best I could, and where I couldn't, I tried to do other details so it would just distract from that. But it would have been a lot easier if I just took it out and spray painted it. So next time, it was raining that day, and that's why I didn't do it, but next time I will definitely do that. So I just used regular old school glue. It was cheap school glue from Dollar General. Kind of wanted to experiment with it to see how good that glue was, and it's holding up beautiful. Everything's fine. And I glued this down on top of the foam board, and this is while the frame is drying with the second coat. And now we're just going to go ahead and start gluing the frame down. It's that simple. You're gluing it on top of the foam board. So I started by gluing it under the first ridge there, and then the second ridge later. And then when it was dry, I just took my craft knife and then trimmed all of the foam board off a little bit at an angle under the frame, so you can't see it from the edge. If it's hanging on the wall, you won't see the edge of the foam board. And then I do end up taking some spackling and filling in the little edges there, because you can see the edges right there, wall repair, that's spackling. I didn't like, you can leave it, it doesn't look bad, but I just wanted it to look more finished, and I didn't like the way there was that little crack there. But this is a great Hot Wheel hack, I guess. Great hack. These make fantastic looking frames in my opinion. You can spray paint them white with a primer, a really strong adhesive type spray paint, and then you can take wax and you can stain them if you want and make them look like real wood. You can paint them another color. You can do so many different things with these. Now, I did have a little overlap with hot glue, so I just took some tweezers. Because this is vinyl, it doesn't stick. I did take some tweezers and just peel the hot glue away, and if it took some of the paint with it, I touched it up. But we're all done, and I think this came up super nice. For this one, I'm using more of the same vinyl placemats that I did for the coasters, because I actually thought this might be a nice little set on a table or in a bathroom, wherever you want to put it. And I just took one of the 8x10 Dollar Tree frames, took the glass out, painted them white, like dry brushed them. Sorry I didn't include that in here. I just figured you guys would know what that is. And for whatever reason, when I downloaded all of my videos off of my camera, that one's on my camera, but my computer wouldn't recognize it, so I didn't get to include it. But it's not going to interfere with the tutorial. I literally just took the glass out of an 8x10 frame and painted the frame. So I went ahead and cut the placemat down to put it inside the frame, and I wanted to we're making a tier tray. I wanted to make a different tier tray because we all have seen so many tier trays. I didn't want to do something that was totally redundant for you guys and repetitive. And I thought, why not do something? Oh, I wanted to show you. That's the hot glue from Surebonder. It's supposed to hold glass, and it did. It was really good. So I just went ahead and used the hot glue. And I'm filling these up with these little gems here because I'm kind of doing a coastal theme. We've all been seeing all the coastal stuff in Dollar Tree this summer. This would even be a boho theme too, but I just wanted to do a unique, different kind of tier tray for something different, so you would have something different in your home and some different ideas. And I thought that this hit the bill. It came up super cute. But I could definitely picture this in a bathroom. If you're into coastal, perfect. I had so much fun making these. I don't know about you guys, but I will never look at Dollar General or Dollar Tree vinyl placemats the same ever again. There are so many possibilities to take them to another level and create beautiful home decor. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, comment, and until the next one, breathe deep, fret not, and do things that make you happy.